Hey guys, welcome back to part two of getting inside the courtroom. A few things that we really need to talk about right off the bat are things that you need to make sure you have in. One are going to be our affidavits, um, your affidavit, and then any church or if your kids are in daycare or school, make sure you try to get an affidavit from them, and any other organizations you belong to. I would really wouldn't waste too much time on friends and family because it may help, but it's not going to hold as much weight as the public organizations. Um, so make sure you have your affidavits in. Your parenting plan is real important, and make sure it's as detailed and how you want it to be, and of course the best interest of your children. But just be real honest on it. And keep in mind too, if you're not prepared to take on a huge responsibility as children, keep that in mind. I mean, just don't put something on it just out of spite because you're not really helping your children. Um, so if you're only available on certain times, then be honest and just put that you want every other weekend to spend time with your children, which is your right and your children's right. But don't put every weekend. You want full custody every weekend, all holidays, all of. Come on, that's not going to help anything, and you might set yourself up for a fail because now you have the responsibility of this innocent child, and you're not prepared. So just don't bite off more than you can chew when it comes to your parenting plan, especially finances and stuff like that. Don't be like, well, I'll pay her more money. Be very careful on what you put on there and make sure it makes sense for you and your children. So your parenting plan, your affidavits, your financial statement, and anything else, just even if you don't think you need it, just it's better just to flood the court with a whole bunch of documents and paperwork and have it in there. But and then when you're at court, you're like, oh man, I wish I would have brought that, because maybe they did and you didn't, or and do not leave any of that stuff at home. I mean, put it in your car that you're driving into court with the night before, because I mean, all that stuff is key. You're only going to have one shot in front of the judge. Make sure you're dressed looking good. Respect everybody in the courtroom, even the children's mother. That's going to weigh with the judge a lot. I just want to touch base now, and then I'll let you guys go on what happened to me at our first hearing and what happened with the temporary order that I received before I left the hearing that day. I came in there the best I could, had all my paperwork in order, worked very hard on, spent many hours doing. Um, Judge talked to the mother's side. They said they're a little blah blah blah, and it's just all hearsay and this that and the other. So and I'm just standing there, and it's gonna hurt. Let me tell you, the things that the lawyer's gonna say, it's gonna hurt, and you just got to stand there and just take it, because you got to think about it. You're in a business meeting. My suggestion to you would be is just don't even listen to what's coming out of that person's mouth, because it'll just mess you up, especially if you're representing yourself. You need to stay focused because in the next few minutes, you have to stand up and present your case. So go through all your documents, don't pay any attention to what they're saying, basically, to stay focused. So then I stood up and I basically stated my case, said, this is all hearsay, I'm a good person, I love my kids love me, and then some. I mean, so, and then I showed I had proof of good residence. My daughters had their own room, all decked out, very appropriate age. Um, the rest of my apartment was very appropriate for their age. I had safety precautions in, which I really don't use any of that stuff. I never used it when my oldest daughter was born. We kept an eye on her, so we really didn't have to worry about her opening doors or putting her finger in the light socket or all that stuff because you just never take your eyes off a baby. That's just common sense. But I had to use all that because I knew that now that the courts are involved, they're going to want to see all that stuff. And if not, you're a bad parent. So I presented my case, and we sat there for a minute while the judge kind of looked over everything. She handed me my turd sandwich, which that's basically what it was a turd sandwich. And then at the end, I stood up, I looked her dead in her eye, and I said, "Thank you." And I didn't say it sarcastically or anything like that because, it is what it is. So I walked out with my turd sandwich, and that was basically I had to have supervised visitation when I was with my girls. And I had no overnights. It was basically every other weekend, Saturday, Sunday, for 8 hours, which I had to pay a supervisor to watch me, which can get into your pocket a lot. And then I was also granted Wednesdays for 2 hours. So there's not a lot you can do within 2 hours, especially when you're trying to get off work and rush to go see them. But we made the best of it. We had a lot of fun. We didn't let anybody get in the way, even the supervisor. He was very respectful and kind of just, did his job. And so that was that. But, and then I was issued to pay child support, which was no big deal because you got to pay your kids' bills. So I'm just saying it doesn't matter how good of a person you are, this, that, and the other. You just don't know what you're going to walk out with. We went in there. The other side had a whole bunch of hearsay. I presented my background, a good affidavit, and then my parenting plan. And then I was still guilty before proven innocent, which I understand. I get it. Anytime there's a complaint saying that the kids may be in danger, it should be taken seriously. So I really didn't. It bothered me, but I didn't let it affect my ability to be a parent. So the reason I'm telling you all this is because I want to prepare you, and you just have to be ready, and just keep your cool and remember this is business. So once I was done with the court, I took that day to kind of just decompress. And then what I did then was I got back to work. I was accused of being a danger, anger management, this stuff. And so I wasn't court ordered to go do anything, but I went and I called around and I said, "Hey, I'm being accused of anger management and a danger to my children. I would like to get anger management evaluation. Are you recognized by the court system?" They're like, "Yeah, great. How much is it?" It was very reasonable. I went in there. I answered a billion questions. I sat down with some kind of therapist or counselor person. I don't know what their classification was. It really didn't matter. I wanted to get it done either way. So I came back and it was cleared. So they're like, "We can't help you. You answered all the questions honestly. You passed on that. We talked to you. You don't do drugs. You don't use alcohol. So just keep in mind, you just gotta keep working. Don't let that hearing, bother you because when you get that paperwork at the top right corner, it'll say temporary order. What's temporary mean? It's not permanent. So you just got to get back to work and keep working, and don't slow down and don't give up, because your kids deserve it. They deserve both parents. And I was doing it all for them. It wasn't for me. Because I know they deserve both parents, and they need my love just as much as they need their mother's love. So just keep all this in mind. It's going to be stressful. It's going to hurt. It's going to hurt worse than anything you can imagine. Trust me. And you're going to be alone. The other thing I just want to keep in mind, and then I'm going to cut you loose, is a lot of people are going to offer you, "Oh, let me help, let me give you an affidavit, this, that, and the other." Sure, great. If they do, they do. But don't depend on it. Don't expect it. People are going to offer to go to court with you. Hey, great, but don't really worry about it, because when I went to court, my whole family went, and none of them got to say a single word. So it's not that big of a deal. But a lot of people are gonna be eager to, and they're going to get you fired up, and they're going to be like, I'm going to help you. You know, it'll be great. I'm going to help you. You know, with this, that, and the other. If they do help you, that's great. If they're just trying to get you fired up and give you opinions, and their opinions come from a base where they have no experience, then the best thing they could do is keep their opinions to themselves, and you kind of fly solo on all that stuff, because you really don't need to get outside influence from people who don't know what they're talking about. Your best ally would be yourself, and just doing your homework by yourself. You're gonna have to give up all your free time. You're gonna have to dedicate like all your evenings to this. So when you're not working and you're not with your kids, you need to be focused on this. This is a full-time job with a lot of overtime. So, you know, happy holidays. I'll be available if anybody has any questions. Feel free to contact me. Make sure you like and share so we can get these videos out to people who need them. So hey, take care.